All right, everybody, how's everybody going? So a couple requests for a couple songs. We're going to do a couple songs here. The first one is going to be The Gambler, okay, by Kenny Rogers. It's an older song. Great country tune, classic. So we're going to start with a couple of things. Start with the chords that we're going to be using. Now, one little secret that I'll kind of give you guys, that a lot of the songs that you're hearing on the radio, what they'll do is they'll take your open chords and they'll shift them a half step. The reason they do that is because they know that if they shift it a half step, that it usually messes with most people, and they don't know how to play those songs because when they shift it a half step, it moves it into weird keys where you have to do a lot of like bar chords and things like that. But one little secret is that if you capo the first fret and you move it up a half step using your capo, a lot of times it will help you to be able to play those songs in your open chords without having to get too weird with the keys and stuff. So this song actually has a key change in it. Now what that basically means is that halfway through the song, it shifts keys and the chord progression moves to a little bit different location, okay? There's a couple ways that you can do this. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of options of how you can approach this, okay? So let's just start from the beginning here, and then we'll kind of work our way through it. So the first thing you want to do is put your capo on the first fret, because then that will allow you to start the song in what we call open chords, okay? It's really pretty easy chord-wise. The song uses D major, G major, and A7. Okay, those are the three chords. That's it, pretty much through the whole song. Okay, now the interesting thing about it is at the beginning he's going to start with a picking pattern, and then he's going to work his way into the bluegrass pattern, okay, with the strumming. One of the things that you want to kind of get used to doing with country tunes, it's a really common thing that players do, is they do what's called popping the sus chords, or you doing a lot of what we call hammer-ons and things like that with the sus chords. So if you take your D chord and you just move the bottom around, basically, using these two fingers here. So we go from a D major, we drop the bottom string, that takes us down to a D sus2, brings us back to a D major, and then if I put my pinky down right here and go up a half step, that moves us up to what's called D sus4, okay? Now, when you're picking, a really common thing to do is to take these notes right here on the bottom, wherever these sus notes are, and do these little movements with the susses. Kind of like that. Okay, and then that's how you get all those little funky picking patterns that you hear a lot in like country tunes and whatnot. That's a really famous thing that they do, is moving those susses. So we're going to take the D chord. If you don't want to do the susses, that's fine. You can just do like a stagger pattern or something to that nature. Just keep it simple if you want. Okay, then you're going to go to your G. Okay, and then you got your A major. Okay, so those are that's kind of the intro. And you can kind of just mess with that and just kind of come up with whatever kind of combinations you want, okay? But it just bounces between the D, the G, and the A7, okay? Then about halfway through the song, about right before the first chorus line, you're just going to go right to a bluegrass pattern. If you remember from my previous videos, the bluegrass pattern is just a down, down, up. And then if you've gotten really good at it, you can use those little techniques that I showed you. That little hammer on. So that's basically the essence of the whole song right there, okay? Start with some picking. See if you can get some of that sus action going with those little hammer-ons. And then go right to the bluegrass. Okay, now, right after the chorus, the first chorus lines, you're going to hear where it has a key change, okay? All he's basically doing is he's taking exactly what you just did and he's shifting it up a half step. So instead of it being basically at D, it's just going to go up to D sharp, okay? The problem is that when he shifts up a half step with this key change, you've got to do one of two things, okay? So these are the two options that you have. You either can quickly take your capo and just go like that, and now be playing the same thing. Right here, a half step higher, or you have to play bars, okay? So if you think about it at D sharp, right, where would a D sharp be? Well, you got a couple places where you can play that D sharp, okay? But you've got a D sharp right here, okay? And then you have to go to your G sharp, which would be right here, okay? Or you could just play a G major right there. So you've got your D sharp to your G, and then you just go straight up to the E7 shape right here, okay? And then you have that same movement, okay? So it kind of makes a triangle. The easiest way I can kind of think of it is it's kind of like you go from, here's your root with the D sharp, then your root goes down here, okay, to the G, then back up here to the D sharp, okay, and then straight up to here, okay. So see how it kind of makes that triangle? That's the triangle that you're basically making. So you're going major, go down to here, make your major, come back up to here with your major, go straight up to your 7, come back to your major, and that makes your triangle. Or like I said, right when the drums are doing their da-dun, dun, da-dun, you just shift it up really, really quick. And then you can do the same thing, playing the exact same open chords that you just played, but just shift it up a half step. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so start at 1, D, G, D, and A7. And then you have the choice. You can either shift it up a half step with the capo really quick in the key change, and then play the exact same chords in the open positions here, or you have to go, if you're here, you have to go to the D sharp, okay, and you have to play that little triangle that I just showed you, okay, by playing your bars, major, 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 and 7. Okay, so those are your two choices. Okay, other than that, that's basically it. Okay, so try that out, see if you can figure that out for you guys, and if you have any questions or anything, then give me a call. Okay, we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.